Hello and welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be changing the front sprocket on my CT110 Trail Postie. If that's something you're interested in, as usual, stick around and I'll get straight into it. First thing I'll do, I'll remove the gear shifter. That's simply 10mm bolt on the bottom here. Once again, trying to do it without my hands getting in the way. And with these, as you know, you have to take the bolt all the way out. And now all we need to do is remove the three. Usually on a Honda these are JIS screws. I've switched mine to hex heads, makes it a bit easier. So 10mm on there. And an 8mm here. And the cover just simply pulls off. Just press on the neutral light grommet there. There's all the Harleys going past. So now all we need to do, take off the two bolts there. And what I'll do to crack the bolt, the reason I do it in this order is I can stand on the other side, press on the brake and then crack off these two nuts. Let's give that a go. So pressing down on the rear brake, and just loosen them a little bit, slightly. Easy. Now what we need to do, loosen the rear wheel and move it forward to slacken the chain. Remove the split pin and slacken off the castle nut with a 17mm spanner. If you need to hold the other end, it's just a 14mm. If you've got a later model Postie, it will have a larger diameter axle. Quickest way to tell, there's no split pin. So we loosen that, and now what we do, we'll loosen the adjusters, make it the same either side. It makes it easier to get it straight when you re-tension it. So I loosened it 8 turns on the right hand side and the same on this side. And now all I need to do, take off the two bolts. And this clip needs to spin till the spline lines up and you can remove this clip. The sprocket is then free to come off. If we've given ourselves enough slack, that should slide straight off. While you're doing this, now's a good opportunity to give this a good clean out inside there and check the oil seals, see that they're not leaking. It's also a good idea just to check that this spins freely. If this shaft is tight, indicates there's a problem in the gearbox, and it's usually the first gear, the bushing on the first gear. But that's fine and there's no movement. It's not a good idea to mix and match, but if you find yourself in the middle of nowhere, your sprocket is starting to wear, starting to get hooked, the teeth are starting to become hooked, reverse the sprocket, put it in the opposite way. And as I said before, with a retaining clip in, and then move it around slightly, refit the 2 bolts. And if when you've refitted the sprocket there's a slight bit of play on the sprocket, don't worry, that's normal. So now I'll retension the chain, foot on the brake, and tighten the 2 bolts. And so once again pressing on the rear brake, I can nip up these 2 bolts. There probably is a torque setting. They don't need to be crazy tight. All we need to do is refit the cover and the 3 bolts. And so just refit the gear shift, job done. As you saw, it's a simple, easy job to change the front sprocket on a CT110. If you find these videos useful, get some value out of them, click on the subscribe button. You won't miss out on any upcoming content, and it will help the channel to grow. See you in the next video.